to day 16. So glad to have you with us, and thank you for having us in your home at your front row seat. Yesterday, I was sharing with you about some of the experiences we've had with people bringing themselves and the gifts of who and what they are to our young people. And I promised that I had a little more to share with you tonight. And I want to start with Alma Lee Loy. You know, when our young people cross that bridge now, they know who she is. They know who she represents because she visited with them and talked to them about love and about kindness and how wonderful it is to have her spirit and her memory in our history. There's a photo of her talking to a little girl, and she was truly having a conversation with this young lady. And that conversation will remain in this young child's heart forever, every time she crosses that bridge. Another person that visited with us and brought herself and her instrument is Gretchen Cover. Gretchen is a harpist. She is from Vero Beach. She has this huge golden harp. And she brought it one night, hauled it in this truck and trailer, and the kids had to help her bring it in and set it up. And Gretchen she first gave a lesson about the harp, and then she allowed every single child to play her harp. And I think you'll see some of the pictures here and notice the intensity in their faces as they were striking the strings on that harp. They'll remember that forever. That's in their being, that someone gave them a lesson on the harp and allowed them to play their precious instrument. And Gretchen did that more than once for our children. And then we have Jim Parks. Jim introduced us to Rotary. Now, let me tell you, with Jim, it's always about fish. And so he came one night, set up his grill, and made fish tacos. Well, we'd never had fish tacos, most of us. We were introduced to fish tacos right there on the parking lot of the Gifford Community Center. The parents picked up their children, but they didn't want to go home. The kids didn't want to go home. The teachers didn't want to leave. We just partied out there on that parking lot, waiting for the next fish taco and laughing and getting to know Jim and Webb Walker. He brought Webb Walker with it, bless Webb's heart. And he introduced us to Rotary. And through Rotary, we met all of the Rotary groups in Indian River County. And as a result of meeting all of the Rotary groups, some of them have given us violins and money and scholarships. And Sunrise Rotary, well, they just give us everything, and they give of themselves all the time. That's what Rotarians do anyway. They give of themselves. But Sunrise Rotary loves us, and we love Sunrise Rotary. Also, I want to tell you about a very special woman. When we first started back in 2003, this lady showed up unexpected and said she would like to volunteer. So she sat with us a couple of weeks, and then she let us know that she was a violinist. And so Mrs. Hart allowed her to tutor Circassian. That's how she started. And then this woman began to tutor other students as they continued to work with special assignments, and this woman worked with Joan Har. We didn't know that Dr. Helen Bonney was an international internationally known violinist and the creator of music therapy, and that people all around the world use the Bonnie method of music therapy. We didn't know who she was. We just called her Mrs. Bonnie. That's how she introduced herself to us, and that's all we knew. It wasn't until many years later, as she was quite ill, that we discovered who Dr. Helen Bonnie really is. And it was at that time, just before she passed, that we heard she was not playing her instrument anymore. Sakeisha had just received a new violin, and she took it over. We went over to the nursing home where Miss Bonnie was, and we have pictures of what happened when we went to that nursing home just before Dr. Bonnie passed. And in the process of loving Dr. Bonnie and being loved by her, her daughter decided to give us Dr. Bonnie's bow, the bow to her violin. Well, we thought the bow was maybe worth a couple of $100. That, what did we know? We're just a young violin group. The thousands of dollars that came to us as a result of selling that bow are now part of the special fund that we have for scholarships for our children who've been in the program for several years and are moving on to college. We're using those funds to help them with their tuition and buying books. From this woman who came to volunteer her services comes the gift of seed money for college. You know, from the gift of being able to play the harp, or learning about fish tacos, or learning longbow from Barbara and Frank Wallace, or from Barbara Lipton, learning about the cultures, as I shared last night, being interviewed by Rhett Palmer, as I shared last night. All of these experiences and all these people have enriched us. There are many more of you out there. Maybe your name wasn't called, but we know that you care about us. We appreciate that. We know that you will come and bring your gifts. Not just the money. Money is wonderful. We love money. Love and money do magical things for us. But bringing the gift of who you are, listening to the children and talking to them, sharing with them, mainly listening to them, hearing their music, hearing their stories. We appreciate that so much. And we appreciate everything that you're doing for us this year, the gifts that you're going to give us. But tonight, most of all, we appreciate that you will listen to the young people who are performing. Thank you for being with us. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Elaine Word, and since 2003, I have been a member of the Board of Directors of the Gifford Youth Orchestra, and now serve as Vice Chair. For the past 17 years, it has been my absolute pleasure to play a part in the growth and development of the orchestra, and to witness the growth and development of over 200 boys and girls who have learned to play the violin, viola, cello, and now the piano. But we could not have done it without the support of you, our grantors and donors, who believe in our mission and vision. We thank you for your past financial support, and we thank you for your continuing financial support, especially in these difficult times. Now, let me introduce you to Valentina de la Guardia. Valentina is 13 years old in the 8th grade at Sebastian Charter School. Her ambition is to finish college and become a doctor. She will play for you Bach's Minuet No. 1. Enjoy.